Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Some time ago, a Secretary General of Ohanaeze Disclose came out so strong against those who are seeking for political position in the southeastern part, and he told them that if they refuse to go against IPOB and stop the sit at home, they should not be thinking of getting any element of support from the southeast. And right now, he has been interviewed and he is reaffirming his position. This time around, he says he doesn't even care. We're going to be looking at some of the questions that were thrown at him and what his response were. But before we do that, if you've not subscribed to our channel, please do well to hit on the red subscribe button and also the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. Now, the factional Secretary General of Ohanaeze Disclose, Okechukwu Zoro, had disclosed that political office holders in Southeast have failed the people and should forget seeking re-election. He was open to an interview where he gave his response according to his personal standpoint. And the first question that was thrown at him goes this way. He said, you said the Southeast governors and senators in the Southeast who failed to stop the sit-at-home order by the indigenous people of Biafra in the region should not contest in 2023 elections. Don't you think that was too harsh? And according to his response, he says, whether it was harsh or not, I don't care. Now, what's the primary aim of governance? Is it not to protect lives and properties? These governors and senators who are state actors have lost out for non-state actors. What do you expect? Do they still have the mandate again? Have they not lost it? What we are saying is that any governor or senator who has failed the people should not even think of seeking re-election again, because they have failed to protect lives and properties in their states and senatorial districts. They have failed Igbo leaders, governors, senators, they have failed, sorry. Now say Igbo leaders, governors, senators, House of Rep members, House of Assembly members, among others, have all failed the people. He was further asked, do you think Southeast governors and senators whom IPOB believe are part of the problem of the region would have been able to stop the sit-at-home by the group? And in his response, he said most of these governors lack the requisite knowledge and historical antecedent of how the Igbo nation has evolved, and so they approach the affairs of Igbos with lackadaisical attitude. Most of these governors were imposed on the people. Most of them didn't pass through the rudiment of leadership to be where they are now. Most of them have failed to look into history as a guide to ensure the Igbo nation is placed on the right path of progress and unity. The reason why they may not be able to handle the sit at home in regions is because the interest of most of them is their Monday allocation from Abuja and retiring same into their private pockets. So if IPOB is part of our problem, the governors and senators must step up their responsibility of really becoming the chief security officers of their various states, and if not, we will continue to look at them as part of the problem. Have you not seen the way the governors of the southeast or southwest came together and formed a Motekun? Are you not seeing the way the northerners are rallying round in spite of insecurity in the region to assist President Muhammadu Buhari to deal decisively with it? Don't you see how the governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, is fighting to mitigate insecurity in his state? But here the governors and senators are only interested in the monthly allocation and not in the security of lives and property. Security is local, which is why Ohanaeze keep crying to the governors to return to the original rules as the CSOs of their various states. If the governors really want to stop sit at home, they have the capacity to do so. It's a matter of liaising with Ohanaeze to quell these monsters. We are using the opportunity to call on President Muhammadu Buhari to caution governors of the Southeast to live up to expectation. And I'm going to take a particular place here, a particular paragraph, so that you understand what he's saying. He said, if the governors really want to stop sit at home, they have the capacity to do that. It's a matter of liaising with Ohanaeze Disclose To quell these monsters, we are using this opportunity to call on President Muhammadu Buhari to caution the governors of the Southeast to live up to expectation, which means there's some capacity with Ohanaeze and Igbo. Let's go further. He was asked another question: how do you intend to stop the governors and senators who may wish to contest in 2023? And he went further to reply that, let me tell you something. The IPOB, which is the highest decision-making body of Ohanaeze and Igbo, made up of former governors, senate presidents, speakers, industrialists, and successful businessmen and women, will come together towards the end of this tenure to look at the scorecards of these governors and senators to decide whether they deserve to return or not. The decision will be decided by the Assembly of Ohanaeze. It is not about Izuzoro, Obiuzo, or Chidi Ibe. They will say, has this one lived up to expectation? Has this one done well? Has this one lifted his constituency from the dungeon of poverty and suffering? But currently, we are still watching, because when you look at the current plight of the Igbos, you will begin to wonder whether the Igbos still have leaders. Our leaders have failed us. He was asked, do you have any message for Southeast governors and senators who may want to ignore your group's warning to stay away from 2023 election? Isuzora in his reply says, our problem, and even the governors are aware of it, is that we no longer have leaders in the region. We need the likes of Francis Ella, the likes of Francis Akanu Ibiam, the likes of Michael Okpara, the likes of Sam Mbakwe, the likes of Chukwu Emeka, Odemego Ojukwu, etc. What we currently have is a crop of people who are looking out for their own selfish interests and not the welfare of the masses. Let me tell you, this is a wake-up call on the governors and senators. We are not attacking them because they are sons and daughters of Ndibo, but they should wake up and do the right thing. The year 2023 is the turn of Ndibos, and nobody should joke with it. Across the six geopolitical zone, the slogan is that the Igbos should be given a chance. He was further asked, what negative effect has the sit-at-home brought to Southeast, and how can the situation be changed? In his reply, he said, well, of course, the Southeast governors have really been facing problems from the people. The danger of their negligence, including the sit-at-home, are already staring them in their faces. They are facing the wrath of the people. The message to them, if they don't turn a new leaf, what is ahead of them will consume all of them. If they fail to sit up and address what confronts the Igbos now, what is ahead will consume all of them. But let me say this, among the governors of the region, there are some of them who are still listening, but they should rise up and save the Igbo nation. Igbos are looking for leaders, not political jobbers. Looking at what the sit-at-home has done in the southeastern region, a lot of businesses have relocated from the region. And this is why the leaders of the zone must rise to stop it. What about the education of the region? Children no longer go to school freely. There was a time people were stopped from writing the West African Senior School Certificate Examination. This is uncalled for. The economy of the region is in shambles, and the place is turning into another Afghanistan and Syria. This is worrisome. He was asked, how authentic and acceptable is your group in the presence of Professor Joe Obiuzo late Ohanaeze? In his response, he said, Obiuzo only has two governors backing him because they are the ones that brought him on board. But we have the support of about 7 governors across the Southeast and South-South. We don't want to take issues with the people who are not serious with the affairs of the Igbos. We have avoided them like plague, but let the wheat and stale grow up, and soon the Igbos will know which is which. The Igbos will soon identify the true leadership of Ohanaeze. We have the mandate of the Igbo-speaking tribes of Southeast, South-South, and some part of North Central. We are highly recognized and authentic. Last week, we were in Kaduna seeking support for Igbo presidency come 2023. Obiuzo and co are too old to face the heat of the leadership of the Igbos. We need rest. He needs rest and should retire by now. Those were the responses he gave to those questions that were thrown at him. And there had been some reactions to that. Someone says here, what has your faction done better, not just opening your vocal bowels as if you are well enough? That means you are going to quit Buhari and stop all northerners from electoral position for their inability to curb Boko Haram, banditry, and herdsmen attack. Another person says here, this prodigal son, where are you heading to? B, who sell his brothers, even your buyers is afraid of you. And I want to say IPOB is the people. Freedom is for the people. Why are some people behaving like this? The people are asking for freedom through referendum. Why don't you conduct free referendum for them? Freedom is not giving, but fighting for. You can hear the reactions of the people, and I'd like to leave it there. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. What's your position on some of the response that